I got to his room and he asked me to pull off my dress, and I hesitated for some time. He pulled me to himself and I started crying. I started crying and he told me to keep quiet, that it was not going to harm me. And he did not stop until my cry became very, very loud. You may remember that I mentioned in part 4 of my childhood story that my stepmother's brother came to pick me up, and I thought he was taking me back to village, only to later realize that he was taking me to another family to live with. I got to realize because when we got to this house, big house with a very tall gate, he knocked at the gate, and when the gate guard heard his voice, without question, he opened the gate. And that's when I realized that they know each other, they've seen each other before. He has been there, previously. So we got into the house. We got to the first living room. We heard a voice from the inner living room calling on us to come in. So we went into the inner living room. They greeted each other as though they know each other before. And the lady looked at me, the woman of the house looked at me and smiled at me and said, "Welcome." While her husband, remained focused on the TV, on the news. So my stepmother's brother just left me there without a word. He left me without saying goodbye. The house was a very large duplex. I was shown to my room, and when I got up the next morning, I woke up to a cry of a newborn baby, something I did not notice the night we arrived. And this time, I started to work immediately. There was no welcome week for me. The only difference is that there are two cleaners that come to the house regularly to clean. So the workload was light. My only responsibility is to take care of the newborn baby, Ugochi, because Madam goes to work very early in the morning and returns back late at night. My madam was a young banker in her 20s, and her husband in his 60s retired. She has two stepchildren, Obi, who was a university graduate, and Chinenye, an undergraduate. Whenever she went to work, she would leave Ugochi under my care alongside her mother, who came for Omugo. And after birthing the baby, she would hand her over to me, and I would be the one to care for her until my madam comes back from work. After 1 month, her mother left, and from then on, whenever my madam went to work, it would just be me, baby Gochi, her husband, and Obi at home. My mother was kind to me. Sometimes she bought me gifts, and one day she bought me underwear, and the next day, her husband came to me and told me that madam told him that she bought me underwear, that he would love to see them on me. For a minute, I pretended I was busy with the baby. Then he called out from his room, telling me he was waiting for me. Then I quickly went to my room, picked the underwears, took it to him. But he told me I should go back to my room and wear them, but that he wanted to see them on me. I went to my room, I put them on, sat there on my bed, unsure what to do, scared. And I heard his voice again calling me. And this time my heart began to pound so hard, and I had to go to his room. I got to his room and he asked me to pull off my dress, and I hesitated for some time. He pulled me to himself and I started crying. I started crying and he told me to keep quiet, that it was not going to harm me. And he did not stop until my cry became very, very loud. He pushed me away and warned me that if I ever told his wife, he was going to kill me. And after that day, I became the shadow of myself. I was no longer free in the house. I no longer sit with them in the living room, and whenever I had the chance, I would lock myself up in the room, not realizing that my mother was noticing the change. When baby Ugochi turned 6 months, I was enrolled back to school, and this time I was enrolled into basic 3 instead of basic 2 because I passed my test. I was very, very smart and intelligent, and just when I thought I have escaped one problem, another one showed up. We started making advances at me and would promise me that he would sponsor my education to any level, and that he would even marry me. But I always tell him that he's way older than me and remind him of his girlfriend that comes to the house every weekend. He became very bitter towards me because he could not get what he wanted. He would report me to madam, and his father would punish me for no reason. Madam also began to change. She would shout at me often and even hit me sometimes. One day, one of madam's friends came to visit, and when she left, my madam called me to ask me if her husband had been inappropriate with me, and she begged me to tell her the truth, that if I told her the truth, she would protect me, and I believed her. So I opened up and told her everything that happened the day she bought me underwear, what her husband did, and how her stepson has been disturbing me too, and how he beats me up at every opportunity just because I did not give in to his advances. That night was hell. My mother went to her husband to confront him, and of course, he denied, told her I was lying. She went to OB and confronted him and was raining abusive words on him. And he was so furious, and he came to me, to transfer the anger on me, started beating me, insisting that I was lying. There was tension for almost 2 weeks until Madam's parents came to intervene and everything went back to normal. But nothing was normal for me. Madam usually sent me to the nearby market to buy things, even though I had to walk like 3 to 4 kilometers away from home to get to the market. One day, I was walking to the market as usual when I saw a crowd gathered around a man who had been involved in a terrible motorcycle accident. I moved closer, but the body was beyond recognition. Blood was just flowing everywhere. And for the first time, I was looking at the lifeless body and I froze. I was wishing I could just unsee what I saw. That image remained with me until I got home. I got home and everybody was just staring at me. I tried to explain to my madam what I had seen on my way home, and she said, yeah, that they heard about the accident. And she asked me that, do you know who that was? The man that was involved in the accident. I said no. And for a minute, she didn't say anything. And the next thing she could say was, that was your brother. And I was just quiet. I couldn't cry. I couldn't even speak. Like, I didn't even know what to feel because I didn't even know he had a motorcycle. I was just there quiet and everybody was staring at me. A week later, my madam told me that his friend has taken his corpse to the village. And I asked her, then why didn't they come for me? Why didn't they take me along? And she told me that we'll talk about it later, but we never did. And that was when fear began to grow inside me because no one knows where I was at that moment except him. Not my father, not his parents, not my siblings, just him. And now he was gone. Weeks went by, months went by, but my madam never mentioned take me back to the village. And that was when I became very scared because I didn't know what's going to happen to me. And for the first time, I felt I was alone. I was forgotten by my own family.